What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. My name is The Samp. That was Mama T and the Marks that sang I sin. But guys, I'm nothing because the guy beside me, he is the king of the jungle. Smokey the Bear takes direction from him. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one and only, the master of disaster, the king of sting, the Apollo Creed of WSN and podcasting, Mr. Professor Bear. Professor, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, and I will say that you definitely are not nothing because without you, we wouldn't make this great content. And I think we're starting to get our groove.
Yeah,
I feel excited every time we do this because I know we're going to bring such a great atmosphere, and we definitely got away from the negativity. We're just talking wrestling, and
I,
that's what we need to do.
Bear, thank you for those kind words. I really appreciate it. I think it's just humility and just humbleness on my part, man. Always looking to strive to be better, always striving to make our show better, to make all the shows that I do better. So yeah, man, thank you so much for that. And yes, we are basically just talking about wrestling, something that is far and in between with most shows that are out there. Talk about finding a niche. Who would have ever thought that just talking about the shows, about the storylines as it actually is happening, kind of kayfabe shoot kind of show? Yes, we know what we're watching, ladies and gentlemen. I preference this with every show because I think we need to, because people still out there find out we're wrestling fans and they have that kind of cynical chuckle, if you may.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I appreciate that and I get it. I kind of equate it to someone who's still playing with toy cars or dollies at our age, right? I appreciate it, but I get it, each their own, and this is our own. We are Professor and the Samp, and we talk wrestling, but we don't talk about the stuff that's happening with the politics and everything else, the he said, she said crap. Our he said, she said crap is in the ring, in the promos, in the action. Let's get into it, man. Is the Bloodline 2.0 establishing themselves now?
I think they're doing. They definitely are. I think they're putting us back into the feeling of what's coming next, and that's been missing for a minute. And I get the people who were not fans of the Bloodline first run, and I get it that they're like, oh, not this again. But they're not doing the same thing. They're bringing more, just I would say drama, but I don't mean drama. They're bringing more um, excitement to wrestling
Mm-hmm.
because now I where this match with Jey and Oba, I was like, this is gonna be a squash match. Now it's like I'm looking forward to it. Will Brock show up to screw Oba? Will Jey go off the rails? What's gonna happen? So I'm looking forward to it. Then of course we got Jacob. And I do not care what anyone says. Jacob has become such the it character where when they started with it, I had no idea. And truthfully, what was looking a little forward to it, but like, oh, this is gonna he's not gonna beat Roman, but they've made a more complex storyline that I am enjoying.
Yeah.
Okay, now even like today, the Raw is going early at 2 p.m.
Yes, they're back in
East.
London.
Yes. So I have to know. I can't wait a long time to find out what went on. I have to know because they've gotten me invested.
100%. So here's how I look at the Bloodline story. The one thing that I've learned, and I'm taking going into this rendition of 2.0, is a lot of the stuff that happened in the first storyline, there were points where you're like, well, what's happening here? Why is this happening? I think I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to watch the story unfold the way it is, because regardless of what we think of the writing, regardless of what we think of what they do, there's always seems to tie it up nicely in a bow at the end. And if you look at the path to get there, the amount of criticism and amount of disillusion that's out there with the stories, it all seems to work out at the end. So that's the way I'm kind of looking at it. Now, when it comes to Jacob Fatu, he's embracing the role of the enforcer now. You know, you could see that. I almost feel like, okay, if the shoe's going to fall, it's going to fall when we're least expecting it, because now I'm invested in this enforcer. Now, it's just safe to say that if Jacob had come in when they wanted him to, that he would have been solo at that time with this angle, but maybe it worked out the way it did. This Bloodline story to me has so many different layers, and we haven't even seen Roman in 2 weeks. Yet it's doing things that it's just from so many angles. You have LA Knight and Big Jim. You have Jey Uso. You have everyone kind of pointing out the obvious to these guys. Like, don't you remember what happened the first time? You still see the cool interaction between Jey and Cody still. You know what I mean? Like, so there's so many layers to this. Like, where does this go? How does this play out? And the most intriguing part of the Bloodline story, it's really going to come down to if Oba wins against Jey, right? I mean, outside of that, who do we have going up against Roman? What's the storyline for Roman himself outside of him pulling the strings and things like that we're seeing right now?
Yeah, it's and it's twofold. What if Jey gets the win over Oba? What does that mean for Cody and the Bloodline, knowing their history?
Well, yeah.
And then to blend in, we got the Cody, Sami, Gunther triangle to deal with. So, like you said, there is so much different things, plate spinning, that it's given, and I think I can speak for you when I say this, it's given us that intrigue that we've been hollering, we've been missing in WWE.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And again, when you look at this, the stories that they're kind of unfolding here with all these characters involved, I mean, the Cody storyline's indirectly tied into this Bloodline story, right? I mean, you got, I don't know, dude. It's really interesting how this can play out. If we're doing fantasy booking and storytelling on our own, this is kind of two angles that I see. One, I believe that WWE and all these wrestling companies are using social media to put out information to get us talking. Okay. I think a lot of it is being put out by them and their associates in terms of, one, I started thinking this way when the comment came out that Brock won't do a job for anybody now. Okay. That got everyone talking. Well, he can't go up against Oba. Well, he can't go up against Gunther. He's going to destroy them. Blah, blah, blah. And we understand that. But I think they got that out there just to get the talking point. The reason I'm backing this up even more so is last week's promo when Oba beat Dom clean. And Oba went on the mic and said, I was expecting you to show up here as everyone else was. Right? So you almost see the stories playing into that social media stuff. And you see how the wrestlers now aren't pulling back the fourth wall, but they're acknowledging all the things that are being said and what people are expecting. And man, I tell you what, man, if Oba keeps up what he's doing, he is going to be unstoppable. Just his diction, his way with words, it's regal. It's with honor. It reminds me of Kratos from God of War. It just that's what I get when I see Oba talk and calling out the fans like, hey, but not calling out the fans. I expected you to show up here. Why aren't you here? Does Brock show up against Jey? I don't know. Because again, it's another tie-in to the Bloodline. Right?
Yeah.
Now, let's say Jey wins. okay, which I'm not sure about. I guess we're gonna find out tonight, maybe. We'll see how that plays out. But I mean, if that's the case, if Jey wins, what if he does beat whoever is champion? And I say whoever is champion at SummerSlam because I'm going to segue here to the Cody versus Gunther versus Sami situation. Okay, and Chance Michaels said something on our other show that made me go, shit. I don't want to agree with the guy, but I have to agree with him on this one, man. Do not be surprised if by some point before Saturday that this turns into a triple threat match and Sami wins.
Oh, it's definitely a triple. They already announced it is going to be a triple threat.
Okay.
And here's the thing.
Where is it? Where's the match?
And say that again. I'm sorry.
And where's the match going to be taking place?
Oh, at the overseas
in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And who's a huge fan favorite there?
That would be amazing. Can you imagine the pop he would get with winning the title over there?
Well, the pop would be over there, but all the complaints would be over here.
Of course. But see, this is one thing I mentioned and talking. I've always said Sami is going to win the title this year. I said I didn't know how, but Sami is going to be in the title match, and he's going to get it because I saw how it was playing out, where he first people were talking about him, were down on him. Then he started complaining and bitching and doing these things. This is the new Drew McIntyre. If you look at what Sami is doing now, all of this is what Drew had did for the last 2 years, where most of the things he was saying were spot on. It was him not lying about most of the things that he was complaining about. They're doing the same playbook with Sami. And with Sami, like you said, in Saudi Arabia, if they pull the trigger, look, you can do like you did with Drew. Let him win it, give him a month, let him drop it.
And that's what they'll probably do.
He doesn't need a long run. He just needs the win.
That's it. He just needs that on his mantelpiece to say that he's won it. And I get that. And I understand it. But man, how this can become interesting. Jey wins. Does he go up against Sami then? How does that play out? You know what I mean? If Gunther wins, he's going up against Jey. How does that play out? You know, the storylines are so intertwined, even with those two guys. It's just really interesting to see how all this could play out. Cody doesn't need the title anymore.
Oh, no.
No, he doesn't, and I think it's time that they put him where Roman was for the last year and a half. He needs to step back. They need to let some of these other guys shine. And I don't think anyone on SmackDown is going to be able to shine as long as Cody keeps that mantle for himself.
I agree.
And this is where that door needs to open now. So Saudi win, yeah. A lot of backlash overseas, probably. But this is something that I potentially see happening. And there's only one place that's going to pay the money to make it happen. And that's Saudi Arabia. So like I said, I mean, the things is endless here. We really don't know where any of this is going to tie up, how it's going to tie up. I mean, we keep talking about Jey winning. These are all the scenarios if Jey wins.
Yeah.
Well, what if Oba wins?
Yeah.
Then do we get Roman and Oba there? And then that's where Brock comes and does the interference part? Like, I don't know if we're going to get him again tonight. I don't know if we're going to get Brock. Well, Brock, Oba, and Saudi, is that potential something that could come out of Raw tonight if he loses?
Yeah, if he interferes, I say yes. But I think too,
see that for SummerSlam.
Too early. The build. the one thing that I have loved about this is they have built it. They
Yeah.
hadn't gave us quick results. It's a nice, strong build, and I think it would benefit more if they give us a build. And it doesn't have to be SummerSlam. It could be the next pay-per-view that's going up.
Well, I think it's going to be SummerSlam
Like
because
you said,
remember, SummerSlam is 2 nights.
right. And like you said, there is so many different potential ways. What if Oba wins and goes for Cody or the WWE title? We hadn't even thought about that.
Well, again, that's another possibility as well, right? But it leaves Roman without anything going on.
What?
Now,
No. And I say no because
please tell me.
this is the part where you could easily slide LA Knight into.
You could, but again, I mean, the story's there. Yes, it is. But if we're talking about building up things and things like that, is it enough time?
Yeah, of course, because they have been doing the pre-building of it. Look
Right.
at how LA has complained about the bloodline and complained about how the GM is buddy with Roman now and everything. So I think there's enough time in history where you could easily go into that.
All right. So here's something else I'm going to throw at you then. Okay. Is the Bloodline a face faction, or is it a heel faction, or is it Stone Cold Vibes faction?
I think it's Stone Cold tweener vibes because some of this stuff, because
That Eric
because to
Andre
me,
stuff was very heelish.
yes. So so I look at Jey and Jimmy. Jimmy and Jey are two different ways of trying to do things. Jimmy is trying to be the peacemaker of the bloodline. Everything they do, he's like, wait, let me go talk. Let me go. It's Jake. Oh man, we got the smash him, blah, blah, blah.
But
Just goes off.
at what point does Jim say, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm more than just this," right? And this is something I'm thinking about as well. If we're talking LA Knight, who else has the same kind of gripe that he does right now? And he's due back any day now. In fact, he was the backup for the Jacob fight if he couldn't go. And I'm talking about Drew McIntyre. Drew's done filming. He's been done for about a month now. What if LA Knight, Drew, and Big Jim get together? Like, we're still waiting for that faction to emerge because that story's always been there. After everything that happened after 41, and I'm talking about WrestleMania, the disbandment of the bloodline, everyone doing their own thing, everyone reminding everyone that, hey, remember what happened here. Why are you being friends? Cody did that first by teaming up with Roman. Right. You know what I mean? So that story's still there too, Bear. That people, that's just there.
And that's the beauty of this here lately. They have intertwined so much that we're not for sure. And that's a good thing. We're sitting here wanting to see where they're going to go.
Yeah.
And I love it.
No, and that's where we're at. Hey, by the way, June 21st, 2026, Liv Morgan had her first title defense of her championship since winning it at WrestleMania in London last night in a fatal four-way. A non-televised match, but she defended her title for the first time.
I am so glad that you brought that up.
Please.
Because as interesting as the men's King of the Ring final is, the women are just as much, because Io and Liv, so we already know what's going to happen if Liv wins. She's going after Rhea.
Yeah.
if Io wins, is she gonna go, hey, I beat you once, I can beat you again with Liv?
We're gonna have a moment at SummerSlam very similar to that of one Rey Mysterio and the living legend himself when Rey won the world title at WrestleMania and Eddie came out and they celebrated together. We're gonna get that with Rhea. We're gonna get that with Io. She beats her there, and she'll beat her at SummerSlam, I believe. And you'll have that moment, but
Well,
that story is still there. That Rhea never beat Io. That story still lives
yes,
too.
yes, and and to correct you, it was Benoit and Eddie
Oh, I'm sorry.
at WrestleMania.
Benoit and Eddie. I apologize. You're so right. You are correct. Yes, yes. The name that we're not supposed to speak of.
But the thing is, I
They've
like
done
the
such a good job of erasing him, man, that I even forgot.
I love that they got plate spinning, and it make my whole thing is make it make sense. As long as it makes sense, I'm generally about it. Even if I don't like it, if it makes sense, I can deal with it. I
Yeah.
just hate storylines that make no sense. It just comes out of nowhere. So I will give them their props for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the Judgment Day. Everyone hates the Judgment Day. Everybody wants to see him disband. And every time you think it's about to happen, it doesn't happen. When is that shoe going to fall, man? Because it just seems weird. I mean, really, outside of Dominic, the Judgment Day has become a chick crew, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
and I say that with all respect. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, they're more of a women faction now than anything. JD is just kind of there. Dominic is kind of there, to be fair. It just kind of seems like the Liv Morgan show. So I'm waiting to see how the shoe falls because is it going to be Roxanne? Is it going to be, Raquel? It's one of those
I'm de-
two. Something's
I'm
got to give
definitely
here soon.
I'm definitely wanting it to be
Raquel.
Raquel. Just the way she has looked, she's been subtly saying things without saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when she said her and Dom was going to be king and queen, the look Raquel gave her.
Yeah,
She took her glasses down like,
exactly. Exactly.
and
We can't
uh, I,
we can't
and
dismiss the
then I
fact.
think that she has a better relationship with Roxanne. They were tag team champions. She didn't want her at first, but now once she embraces her, I think they're going to end up taking Liv out.
Together?
You, I think so. I think it would be, well, I don't know together or not. Because I was going to say, yeah, if they take her out together, that'd be good. But then you would force them to stay heel and turn Liv back into a face, which I don't think would make a lot of logical
Which
sense.
is why I feel it's going to be Raquel at the end of Liv and Roxanne's boots to do this. If that's the direction we're going, because Roxanne's more, unless that's the way they're trying to drive us to thinking that she's more in tune with it and whatnot. Maybe it's just a play. Maybe she's just being a girl Jacob right now.
Right.
In terms of how she's going with it. Maybe Raquel is just, maybe we're looking at the wrong person entirely.
And
And we're
and
maybe
and
we're looking at all of this wrong. Who knows?
and, and I love it because we all can come up with a scenario that we think it could be, and like you said, they could go totally wrong. Honestly, it's so much is going to play into, because I think they're going to wrestle on Friday
Yeah,
for the Queen of the Ring.
right.
Uh,
I think both
no,
might be. I think both might be on Friday.
no, we
Tonight's the
didn't.
men.
No, what am I thinking about? It's Saturday because the pay-per-view Saturday. They're
Yes,
getting the king and the queen. So
yes. So let's move on here a little bit. This is really interesting. So, and I think we need to start watching AAA a little bit more because they're doing some crazy stuff out there. And now we got another faction coming out of there, going up against Grande Americano, who's quickly becoming the face that runs the place there.
oh yeah.
Right. So a new faction emerged. Okay. He got attacked by the Perros del Mal, the bad dogs, if we're translating that, which consists of Draga, NXT's Bronco Nima, SmackDown Los Garza, and NXT's Carmen Petrovic.
What I love about it is they are sticking to their history. This it was a faction that was known in AAA. They're bringing it back, and they're giving a lot of talent who, let's face it, didn't have a lot going on. They're giving them a chance to shine in AAA. And I think that's good. The only complaint that I have is with the Garzas. Love them. I'm so happy they're getting something, but you have got to get them off of SmackDown and Raw looking like jokes.
And I think this is where we're not going to see them anymore because now the Garzas are there. And I didn't even know that the War Raiders were still around.
I was shocked when they walked on the head title. I'm like, when the hell did this happen?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
that's on me because I don't watch AAA like that.
No, no, that's fine. I mean, I don't think a lot of us do, brother. But I mean, when it comes out, and then we have to deal with it. Um, who is the best company man in wrestling right now, in your opinion? I'll tell you who I think.
So
All wrestling,
all wrestling, any person,
anyone.
um, company man, honestly, I would say is in my opinion, John Moxley,
Okay, okay.
and the reason being when he and we joke about this all the time.
Needs a
He
vacation.
had vacation
I
when
think he's
they
been
what
waiting for 3 years.
yes, whatever they need at AEW, John does. He steps up. He is their utility player. That he's their face. He's a utility player. He's trying to build up younger talent. I think that's why I would say I would go with John.
Okay, no, and that's beautiful, and I can't disagree with any of that. I think I'm going from a different angle here, and again,
Okay.
it's based on what I saw on SmackDown. I know we're very WWE heavy here today, but that's where most of everything's coming out of. To be completely
Yes.
honest, I can't talk about things that aren't happening. For me, it's Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling.
Okay.
The shit they have him doing for such a talented guy, and the fact that he's just doing it is amazing. How many months have we seen this guy laying on the side of his face? Okay. And it's being utilized. There's only one guy, in my opinion, that could have done the job with him the way it's being played out right now is Sami.
Oh yeah. It,
You know, it reminds me of Tom Hanks and that volleyball, whatever the volleyball's name was, right? I can't
right.
remember. Right. But that volleyball and Johnny Gargano are one and the same, in my opinion. And Sami is doing a great job with him too. Like who would have ever thought that Sami would be the guy to have that best interaction with him?
It is amazing um character work that some people play and we never see. We like there's no way this person can translate this, and they they knock it out the park, just blows us away. And with Johnny, I feel like there, as much as he is doing right now, doing nothing, I still hate and feel like it's a waste of his wrestling talent.
Absolutely, which is why I'm saying Mr. Wrestling himself, which is why I get it, guys want to wrestle and whatnot, but what he's doing right now is beyond that, like,
Yeah, no disagreement here. He
right? If he's waiting out his contract, I get it. But
and if that is the case, he's showing how you do be a professional.
which is why I call him the best company man in wrestling today, because he's not competing. And when he is competing, it's getting squashed. Otherwise, he
And you
spends
don't
most of his time laying sideways.
and you don't hear him you
No,
you don't
neither one
hear
of them.
anything
Neither one
from
of
him
them.
or his wife. You don't
If
hear
I'm
any
them, I'm banking every check as much as possible because these paychecks, like, I'm surprised they didn't cut him when they were cutting everyone else. Why wasn't he cut at that time?
and you know what? Maybe oh, you're talking about cut be gone.
Well, like they did everyone else after WrestleMania. Like, why
Oh,
wasn't he on that list?
well, because they didn't want him and Champa to be in AEW together because they know that will put extra eyes on AEW
No,
because
I
it's
get that. That's fine, but I don't think them getting back together as DIY. I mean, it might be exciting for the first couple of weeks, but if I'm following AEW's track record, shit falls off the cliff really fast there. As soon as it gets big, it falls off a cliff. Okay. We've
well
seen this so
tag
many
team.
times.
Yeah, and some things, yes, I agree with you, but they are unique in the fact them together, great tag team, them
Sure.
separate, great wrestlers.
Yeah.
So you have so much to play. And let's face it, when you're a company, you have to think of those things too. If you have a talent that you're not doing anything with, why would I want to let that person go to help my competition bury me?
I get that. No, I appreciate that completely, Bear. I get it. But I think I'm just basing it on what I've seen
No,
in
no,
5 years with AEW and whatnot, and the effect that these things actually have, right? I mean, if we're talking about people coming over and making an impact, and I'm not going to throw Jericho's name because he didn't come over, he was already there, right? The only guy, in my opinion, that's ever come over from anywhere else is John Moxley, okay? Because Claudio is there, yes. He's being consistent, yes, but he hasn't gotten his push yet, and he's still that kind of mid to top tier guy. Okay, he's interchangeable. 80% mid, 20% top tier right now. The same with Bobby Lashley, spinning his wheels. Again, Moxley's the only guy, in my opinion, that's come over to AEW and made a difference and been relevant throughout his whole entire run there.
yes, his entire run. I a person I would say is Andrade. Look at what
Now,
his second. Yes, yes, and again, I guess my way I look at things, yeah, we could always look at the entire picture and have, well, he didn't do or they didn't do or whatever, but I look at what they are doing now and what they had done, like Andrade. WWE just dropped the ball with him. Now, I don't, of course, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. We don't know all that. But this second run with AEW, he's been amazing. And not only that, the New Japan stuff. I mean, he's walking around as their I can't remember what the championship called,
right, right,
but
right.
he's a champion. He's putting on great matches. The one with him and Kenny was good. So I understand what you are saying as far as immediate impact to a company. I still think that with Johnny, he still got a little time left. If he chooses, if WWE chooses to let him go, I I think they know it's going to make a difference. Not oh, we're out of, they've just taken completely over different, but it's going to make eyes go to that
No,
product.
and it's always the case, and I agree with you, Bear. It's always the case. New talent comes on, it's great for the first 2, 3 weeks, and then you go into that mold of obscurity of AEW. And I don't mean that in a negative way. This is what I've seen. This is what I've watched on this program since its inception. Now, when it comes to Andrade coming back to the WWE, I don't think that was ever something they wanted to do. I think that was a favor to Rick and Charlotte because they were married at the time. Once they broke their relationship, you saw what they were doing with him. Okay, he was irrelevant, which leads me to believe they never wanted him back. When they released him the first time, they released him. And that's the take that I have on it. Like, that's what happened with him. They dropped the ball with him in AEW the first time around too,
Oh yeah.
right? And the fact that he's doing what he's doing right now is because he's with the Paul Heyman of AEW. Um, what's his name? The Don Callis. So he
The
fits in perfectly there.
wherever, I wasn't supposed to say this, but I mean, hell, we love breaking stories. I'm going to be the newest member of Don Callis family.
Beautiful. Can't wait. Cannot
Man,
wait to see what the bear brings to the family, man. I
hey,
love it. I love it. Well, I tell you what, breaking news. I'm a new member of the Bloodline. They call me Dirty Samson. I'm
so
back.
I have, we're going to actually go into a little TNA. I didn't even
Yes,
bring
please.
this up.
No, we got Slammiversary.
Yes, but the big news, and I know we don't want to talk about the backstage and all that, but I feel like this is really
No, no,
interesting.
absolutely. Tommy Dreamer,
Tommy Dreamer, and how
Pringle,
now you
Adrian
have
Pringle.
at least 4 to 5 wrestlers come out about Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
And I've just found it very interesting that now we're getting such a negative uh connotation about Tommy, and and it's weird to me because now again I'd never met Tommy, don't know Tommy personally, but from everything I have seen in wrestling and how much people give him so much credit, it's just weird to me to hear the negativity coming about Tommy.
I mean, Tommy's never been in this lens as long as I've been a wrestling fan. So it's very interesting, and if you're getting multiple sources, is it a group of people that are just trying to get some clout and build up their name off of him? Or is there some legitimate fire that's right around there? I don't know. Without information, without proper understanding of the situation, I don't know, Bear. And you're right. It's really interesting. But I mean, the question is, why was Tommy released? Was it because of these things? Was it, something that they never really brought to light? They've been pretty void of these kind of controversies, right? I mean, let's not forget Tessa Blanchard was released too.
She asked for a release though.
Well, she did, but they were about to re-sign her.
Yeah, and to me that says something, not necessarily about TNA, but it just shows how the landscape as far as signing with American promotions are not always in their best interest. I mean, let's face it, Tessa, and CMLL is much better. They and I again, I don't watch a lot of CMLL, but I know of them. I see a lot of their the way they treat their characters, and I believe, just in my opinion, that she made the right call going with them instead of sticking with AEW.
Well, I mean, CMML and AEW are AAA and WWE.
Right.
See, she hasn't really gone too far, but yeah. Um, but that poor girl, I mean, her words have cost her a lot of opportunity,
Oh yeah.
unfortunately. And that's just the unfortunate part of it all. Um, Nick Nesmith versus Santana for the title at Slammiversary. Are you interested?
Say that one. Who's Santana taking on?
Santana's taking on Nick Nesmith, Dolph.
Uh, um, no, I can't even lie. Um, and
I know
here
you don't
and
watch TNA. That's why I'm bringing it up.
right, and here's the thing about it.
Hmm.
It is so weird that we're getting three pay-per-views on one night, and it's gonna split people, I think, to what they're gonna watch. Um, Now here's the interesting part too. The NXT pay-per-view is free. It's on Netflix.
Well, we always get it
I
on
mean, not net.
YouTube.
Oh, internationally, I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
In the state, I think it's on YouTube.
Yeah. No, we get everything in Netflix, and it's kind of funny. We can't join in on the YouTube viewing. They actually block it out of the country, like not available in your region, is the note that we get. So we end up watching it on Netflix. I mean, to be honest, I get to see W here, but we get it on Netflix too,
Right.
right? Just from the American feed of it. I was trying to find something here with the card, but I cannot. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here's what we got going on for Slammiversary. Okay, we got Santana versus Nick Nesmith, aka Dolph Ziggler. You got a triple threat ladder match for the TNA World Tag Team titles. The System, Brian Myers, and
Um,
Bear
Bronson.
Bronson.
Look, I got to remember. I got to remember my cousin.
Fair enough. Speaking of Bronson, we'll talk about him in a minute. The Hardy Boys and against the Righteous. You got an Ultimate X match for the TNA X Division Championship. Cedric Alexander versus Leon Slater. Frankie Kazarian, Mr. Elegance versus Fabian Arkner, Navarro, etc., etc. This card goes on and on, brother man. Do you want me to stop anytime? Tell me. Open challenge for the TNA International Championship. Mustafa Ali
Okay, you can
against to be
stop.
announced. Okay, so they have a show. I'm trying to be fair here, brother. I'm trying to be.
And I don't mean to be so dismissive of them,
Fair play.
but on there's one match that you said that I might have some interest in wanting to go see.
Yeah.
But there that card would be if I catch some of it in the next few weeks, that's the type of energy I have for that pay-per-view.
No, fair play. Fair play. But here's what I'm going to say. I think you should watch it before the next 2 weeks because I want to talk about it on Monday. Just
right.
so we got to be fair here, man. We have to be fair. This is something that I'm trying to build a foundation of, being fair to all the companies, because I am going to be the first one to admit that I have picked and choose the things that I want to talk about as you have.
Right.
But we have to be fair to each company regardless. But we can also be fair to say how we feel about the company.
Right. And I would say this, that it's not like we've never talked about TNA. It's not, and all these other companies.
Yeah.
But And if you are a fan and you're watching this and listening, I want y'all to understand something that plays a big part in what we talk about and see and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the behind the scenes of what Professor Bird does. If y'all knew how much independent wrestling I watch and follow,
Mm,
not just in the States, not
mm,
just in Canada, not just in Mexico. I mean, all around the world.
mm.
Again, just to be totally honest, because I truly care about our fans
Yeah.
and let y'all know. Tomorrow, I'm not watching anything. I'm
Yeah.
not watching it. I'm not trying to, unless some big breaking news happens. I'm taking a day off for Burr.
Yeah.
And me and the missus are gonna try to have a little time
Amazing.
and Friday. So my point is, with all of that is, yes, certain promotions I watch, I'm a fan of. I'd be lying if I don't say I watch TNA. I mean, AEW more than anyone.
Sure.
Between them and WWE, uh, those are the ones I watch.
Yep.
Sometimes I catch TNA. Sometimes I catch uh, uh, NXT.
Yeah.
Uh, I definitely when it comes to pay-per-views, I'm all over Ring of Honor.
Sure.
It's just my style of
No,
pay-per-view.
hey, dude,
And
me, I'm WWE with AEW and everything else sprinkled on top. You know what I mean?
exactly.
That's the way I do
So
it.
yes, and like you said, though, we need to be fair. And again, as fans of ours, we want you to let us know if it's a promotion that we have not covered. Let us know. We'll do our research and
Yeah.
due diligence.
Well, I can
And
tell you, man, we barely talked about JCW.
yeah,
You know, that's an up and coming promotion, and they're quietly doing their thing down there. I you know, say what you want about Vince Russo, whatever. The guy's doing good work down there right now. And
I,
to be completely honest, I mean, this is the closest we're gonna get to Attitude Era type wrestling. You're gonna
now
get it from JCW.
I will say this. I know this much about JCW that them and Memphis Championship Wrestling have a working agreement
Yeah,
and they've been doing some stuff.
yeah.
So again, it's just like
Picking and
it,
choosing, brother. Picking and
yes.
choosing. All right. I got an updated card for today's Raw in London, which is probably going to be taking place in the next couple of hours. We got World Tag Team Championship match, the Vision, Braun, and Austin Theory taking on the Street Profits, Montez and Angelo Dawkins. Is this the night where the Street Profits finally win? And the reason I say that is because the return of Logan Paul, I'm glad he's back in the mix. Regardless of what anyone says, the fact that he's back in the mix is a good thing. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think
Let's
so.
let's 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 just call it the way it is. I was a huge critic of Logan Paul, as I would be
Always do.
anyone coming into my house. But this man has done great stuff. He's must see TV. He's great on the mic. He's good at making everyone hate you, right? Character or not.
I would say this. He has paid the proper respect for me to give him respect as a professional wrestler.
Absolutely. And you can't
And
deny what he's doing. You can't. We
no,
can't. We shit on
no,
him a lot in the past. Yes, absolutely. You know, oh, well, he gets a month to work on each match. You know what I mean? He's
yes,
not
yes.
doing that anymore. He's actually
He
in there every week. He's got a
doing
real
the
injury. You know, if that
doing
was
the
his
house shows, whatever. Again, I've gained a level of respect that I did not think I could have for him.
same
I
here.
respect
And I'm
that
eating
man.
that crow, right? Do you want
Yes,
some?
yes. Oh
Yeah.
man, I've been chewing on it for a while.
There
So
you go, man. So you know, and it's hard as tack now. Um, but the reality is he's doing great stuff down there, and I love it. I love what he's doing. I think he is the future if he decides to stick with this, and I think he is going to. You know, so this is going to be really interesting. So that
I
being
think they
said,
I think they're going to drop the titles, and and for me, the only reason why they drop the titles is because that will free up Braun to do Braun things. I
It
think.
would. And then I guess it'd also free up Austin Theory to do his little love story that he's about to embark on.
Right.
Now, I didn't see it last week, but did Chad Gable actually get together with his old crew at the end?
He No, he did not.
He did it
But
because
he
he
walked
said that
past.
I still have some people to apologize to.
He walked past Maxine,
Yeah,
and Maxine rolled their eyes at him
right.
because she was standing there talking. But
The
she
theory
I'm guessing that's going to be
this
this
week.
week where he
Right.
apologizes.
And the reason I say that, so we have a women's tag team championship match happening here this weekend as well. Paige and Bree taking on Bailey and Lyra. I would say drop it here. We don't need them with the titles anymore, to be honest. But because it's in London, maybe it's not going to happen because they want the crowd to feel good with Paige.
I I agree with you. Honestly, it was a feel good moment for them getting the titles. And it should have been the Bella twins. Um, I I just didn't give a damn.
But here's the reality, where they haven't really done anything with it. They stayed on SmackDown more, at least with the other tag teams. They were moving around a lot. They were going show to show, show to show. Where these girls are just basically on SmackDown for the most part. When's the last time you
Well,
seen them on Raw outside of
well,
tonight?
I mean, they got the most tag team, and let's face it, the Liv and Raquel got a shot. They lost.
Yeah.
Now Bailey and Lyra. I mean, I'm just not excited about them. So as quick as they can get the titles off them, I'm at the point now. It's like I don't care who it is, just get it off of them.
Well,
They had
I think we have again. If we're looking at long-term story plans here. We don't know what's going on with Bailey. We don't know where she stands and whatnot, right? But I mean, she has.
and Lyra.
But here's the thing: I would rather see a heel Lyra than what we're getting right now because I've seen hints of it in her. She would be a great heel, in
And
my
it'd be
opinion.
something and it'd be something different for her. And yeah, I could see it.
Like,
I
don't be surprised, Senate, if they lose, Lyra turns on Bailey. I
I
mean,
would be.
it'd be something interesting, right? Let's shake it up.
Yes. And they need a little more heels besides the Judgment Day, because she'll turn heel and join them because that's what most women are doing now.
Well, you know what though? I mean, maybe she gets together with Becky and they have this Irish coalition where
You
she's
know,
like,
hell,
you worked with her, now you're working with me, sort of a deal. Because I really
yeah,
believe at the same time, if you look at Lyra and where she was being with them, okay, it's almost like they buddied her up with Bailey to get her to the level she needed to be. Because she came up very green still, in my opinion. And we saw that early on with matches with EO and whatnot. Like she couldn't pick up the cue. She couldn't be hurt when she was supposed to be when the camera was on her. You know, like those little
right,
telltale signs that I saw. Like, okay, you're supposed to be beaten up, but you're just sitting there, lost in the lights, not knowing how you're supposed to actually be looking and acting. So
right.
and I think Bailey was brought in specifically to help her, very similar to what Miz might be doing with Kip,
Right, right.
right? You almost got a feeling that a lot of these upstarts, if I may, got buddies,
Yeah,
you know,
understand.
mentors of sorts.
I mean, the best thing to do is get them with someone who's a veteran, who knows how to do the cues, how to
Absolutely.
show them. And look, I would definitely say I have became a better person and better liking her now than when she was first up.
Absolutely.
She's definitely grown.
Absolutely. All right, brother Mayor. I tell you what, man, I'm gonna finish it off with this. We got Ethan Page tonight against Dragon Lee. watch out for Ethan Page, man. He's slowly making his mark. This guy's going to be something, I believe. I really believe it, right? And finally, we will hear from King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring finalists Oba Femi, Jey Uso, Io Sky, and Women's Champion Liv Morgan. I believe all of this will be happening on Friday, the matches. Tonight, we're just going to hear from them.
The matches are Saturday because that's the pay-per-view.
Right, well, they're going to have the semifinals and the finals?
Well, no, the finals are going to be at the King of the Ring
tournament, which is Saturday.
Yes. So I was speaking.
I think the semifinals are on Friday.
The finals are Saturday.
The finals on Saturday, but the two semifinals will go this Friday. The go home show for SmackDown, I believe.
But I'm confused. I thought that Jey and Oba are the finals in the men's side.
No, they are. So
okay.
Oba, Jey, Io, and Liv Morgan are on Raw tonight, but just talking.
Yes, it's all just talk. Yeah. It's going to be talk today.
Friday is talk. Where we're going to get the fight in Saudi Arabia, where they're probably going to have SmackDown, right? So we get the semifinals on SmackDown, and then the finals will be on the Saturday at the pay-per-view.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great hour. We've covered everything. Everyone's doing what they're doing, and they're going to give us more to talk about on Monday. I am the Samp, and he is
Professor, and we are
Professor and the Samp. Yeah. Absolutely. So listen, everybody, it is Monday, the beginning of the week. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Work hard, believe in yourselves, believe in your own abilities, believe in what you bring to the table. Anyone who tells you different, anyone who tries to deter you from your goals and your glory. Two reasons why, Bear. One, they're afraid to take the step. Two, they're more afraid of you winning. Surround yourselves with the people who want you to win and the people who want you to succeed.
Amen.
Professor and the Samp are out. We'll see you next Monday.
They're Professor and the Samp, yes, Professor and the Samp. One's a historian, the other loves to chant. They talk about the fights, all the slams and lights. It's wrestling mayhem day and night. They're Professor and the Samp, yes, Professor and the Samp. Their takes are quite insane, the wrestling world's their game. They break it down, they call